regroup very quickly against a very game Pacific squad.
Well, if I were Dave Shoji and Dean Nowak, I'd actually almost be happy that the jinx is finally over. The streak is over. 25 games in a row against really tough teams, especially Long Beach and Pacific. I mean, how long can they keep going? I would hate to see it have happened to them what happened to UCLA last year when they won 33 straight games and then lost when it really counted. And that could have happened had they gone 3 straight both nights against Pacific and then had to play up in the regional later on when it really counted to go to the Final Four and not really be prepared or have their character tested. Now is a real test of their character.
Dave Shoji told me before the match that he did want his team to keep playing at this level of play. You don't want to stop training and stop playing so well. But by the same token, they do need this test before they get to possibly Spanos Arena and 6,000 screaming Pacific fans. Here's a test for Hawaii in game number 2. They're down 1-0. Sherry Boyer. And the ball is set back over.
Melanie Beckenhauer with a beautiful dump shot that time to give Pacific a side out. Kathy Scotland up front there, their best blocker, matched up against T, Hawaii's biggest hitter.
Our Game 1 stats are brought to you by PRI Gas Express, the official sponsor of the Rainbow Wahines for 1989. There you see what happened in Game 1. Look at the hitting percentage for Hawaii, 040. We have not seen that in a long time.
Hawaii averaging over 330. To hit 040 is astonishing.
PRI Gas Express, proud to be official sponsor of the Rainbow Wahines for 1989.
That time we saw T just go down the line, high off the block. But in my opinion, she's going to need some different type sets. The tempo is going to have to change a little bit. Either the sets are going to have to be lower and quicker or a little more inside to give her a chance to use some different shots against the block. Right now the block is just loading up on her, lining up easily on her.
Oni Nishida goes off for Pfeiffer, and Hawaii gets the first point of game number 2. Chris, that's the first game Hawaii has lost at Plum Gym outside of the exhibition against the Russians all year long. They have not lost a game here on KHNL or at Plum Gym this season, so it really tells you just how impressive they've been at Plum Gym.
They really have been, and again, as I said, I think it's a good loss for them to get. Although they certainly don't want to lose the match because they want to retain that #1 ranking in the league to get the good positioning for the regionals, which will most likely be played in either Long Beach or Pacific.
Ball hit out. Kathy Scotland goes outside. It's 2-0 Hawaii. The biggest lead they've had all night. It's the first lead they've had all night. UOP led the whole time in game number 1. Jerry Trishman. Oden. Scotland partially blocked. Diving for it. Coming up is Franzen. A few players look like they might go after it, but Franzen was the one that dove and couldn't get there in time.
Kathy Scotland from Oakland, California. Normally her family accompanies her to watch her play in Hawaii, but this year they were detained by, guess what? The World Series.
How about that?
And they're cheering for your team, the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah, right. Ball did not seem to go over the net. Let's see what they call. They call a point to Pacific, and the crowd is in an uproar.
Both John Zabriskie and Randy Shaw both saw a touch in the Hawaii block. The Hawaii players are not saying anything either, so there must have been a touch. Maybe we'll get a chance to see it on replay. We do. Right here hits the cable, but it also catches a hand right there of Tony Nishida.
Really? Actually, it doesn't matter what it looked like because that's what they called, but it did touch Nishida's hand. It's now 2-2, and the crowd at Plum turns ugly. It's a very friendly crowd, but they're letting the refs have it. Very knowledgeable crowd. Of course, they don't get the replay like you folks do. Tough set that time. Here's Shoji up off the bench. Not pleased with what's going on. And Shoji's going to call a very early timeout as Pacific goes ahead in game number 2, 3-2. For Hawaii to postseason play this year, they play the best teams in the country. There you see they'll play October 20th and 21st up in Nebraska against Nebraska in the Baden Challenge. And then from there they play UC Irvine right here at KHNL, and then they'll go down to Texas for a single match against the University of Texas. So the best teams in the country against Hawaii. It just keeps going on and on. We've already seen UCLA. They've already beaten Texas. They've got Long Beach they've beaten. Pacific tonight, they go up to Nebraska. The best teams, and Chris, it's the only way you get to prove you're the best is to beat the best.
That's right, and that time, while you were chatting, Hawaii, after a timeout, went to T. Williams Sanders for a side out, which is normally a piece of cake.
Was I chatting?
Oh, just
I thought I was informing.
Anyway, T. Williams got blocked that time by Elena Oden.
And T gave the famous volleyball vernacular, my fault. That is part of, you must say that if you play volleyball. T gets blocked by the best players in the country, and she has to say, my fault. 4-2. That time T blocks, but great defense by Pacific. I think Hawaii's a little bit surprised by just how much Pacific has picked up their game tonight. Hawaii doing the same things that worked last night, and so far tonight it hasn't worked. And there we see some emotion from the normally stoic T. Williams Sanders.
She got a beautiful set from Boyer this time. Boyer with perfect extension right there when she straightened her arms out. T goes over the block. No chance for the Pacific block that time, or their back row. Ball was simply too hard hit over the block.
Sherry Boyer back to serve. Hawaii needs points to get back in this one. Obviously, it's 2-4. Short set to Oden, goes through the block. It goes out though. Not touched. 3-4. Want to remind everyone at the end of tonight's match, Chris and I are going to be selecting the GTE Hawaiian Tel Most Valuable Rainbow. The University of Hawaii's General Scholarship Fund will receive a $100 cash award in the name of that player from Hawaiian Tel. 3-4, Sherry Boyer trying to knot it up for the Rainbow Wahines. Beckenhauer with a left-handed dump, and they call her for it. They call a lift. He questions Mr. Zabriskie and says, okay, I can live with that.
Melanie Beckenhauer, whose sister now plays for the University of Washington and used to play for the University of Hawaii, that time just held on to the ball a little bit too long, and referee Zabriskie called a carried ball.
Ball kept alive. Here's Oden. She pops it over. Chance for the Rainbow Wahines. Boyer way outside the tee. Dig by Scotland. Kept alive beautifully and pumped over by Pacific. Kalulu with the dig. Franson off the block. Kalulu. It goes outside the pole, and it'll be side out for Pacific.
You see some rabid Tiger Rooters over there trying to out-scream the 2,000 fans that are jamming in here in the club. As Pacific gets a big block right here against Franson. Beautiful block by Pfeiffer. Kalulu tried to cover it, but to no avail as she hit it out of bounds.
Four. Franson partially blocked again. Mullins been hammered pretty well tonight so far by Pacific. That time off the block. Lance Beckenhauer outside to Pfeiffer. Short set. Nishida didn't want it like that. And costs Hawaii. It's 5-4.
Boyer having trouble setting Nishida right now. They've misconnected on the last 3 sets. Dave Shoji not happy with either Nishida's approach or Boyer's set selection. I'm not sure which, but I know he's not happy with the way Hawaii is playing in transition right now from defense to offense. They're not converting at all. Pacific having a field day right now.
As are the Wipers. This is a big night for the Wipers. Sherry Boyer to T off the block. Great dig. Beckenhauer. Nishida with the set outside the Franson. T. Boyer, short set. T through the block. Elena Oden tried to go all alone that time, Chris, and I could see her leg as she came down, very evident. Very careful about putting pressure on that bad left leg.
So T. Williams hitting a quick right here, and she gets up quicker than Oden does that time. The two former Big West players of the year going at it one-on-one that time. But that was fun to watch.
She went up quicker, she went up higher, and she went up stronger. And Hawaii will serve at 4-5.
T already in the Long Beach Hall of Fame as a mere 21-year-old. I thought you had to wait till you were in your late 60s before you got any Hall of Fames, but
or be 5 years into retirement or something like that. 5-5, Hawaii knocks it up.
Again, Hawaii's character being tested to see whether or not they can come back against this very good Pacific team.
Beckenhauer goes outside to Pfeiffer, and Pfeiffer just cranks that one through the block. When Chrissy Pfeiffer gets up, she looks almost unstoppable.
She really does. Watch how high she gets up here. She goes up and reaches forward, goes over the block. And that's a big block right there. Talking Jamie Long, who's 6'3", Nishida, who's about 5'8", 5'9", but she jumps well.
Hawaii back to serve at 5-5. Nishida playing more tonight, seen more time. She's been a super sub. Obviously, as long as she keeps playing well, she'll stay in there longer. Lance off the block. Nobody can get to it. Net violation is called anyway against Hawaii.
So Carrie Trishman got hooked up in the net there, got a little snag. Mary Robbins getting a rest this game as Dave and Dean are trying out Tony Nishida.
5-5. Sherry Boyer backs at Franzen. Franzen goes down, and the reason I was saying Malin Franzen's been hammered pretty well tonight is she is hitting a 400 percentage on the year, easily the best on the team, and that's the best season mark ever for Hawaii. It was 399 by Dietrich Cullen, so she is a real consistent player. She puts down 2 out of every 5 attempts she gets, and Franzen has been blocked pretty consistently in the first 2 games thus far by Pacific.
Give credit to the Pacific coaching staff for having scouted Hawaii so well all day during the tapes today and making the proper adjustments.
Kind of get the feeling the Tigers didn't spend any beach time today. Outside, and good hit by Nishida. Can't make the play. She comes over. A big hit that time by Scruggs. Very close to the pole, but she puts it inside, and it goes back over to Pacific. Still knotted at 5. Pacific won the first game 15-5. Nishida, Boyer, short set, Trishman blocked. Boyer, outside Jamie Long. Ball was hit outside of the pipe. That's what the linesman called, that it was outside the pole. And the coaching staff and the players on Pacific, who had the same angle, couldn't believe the call. So now we will have a brain trust discussion. Randy Shaw, our umpire. John Zabriskie, our referee.
The linesman Denise Cabrera.
He says the ball was outside. Zabriskie lets it stand. We take a look at it. Watch the hit. Comes over to the Pacific side, and it was Pacific that will make this dig right here. It was afterward.
Happened right before that as the ball was bumped over the net. If any part of the ball, by the way, breaks the imaginary line that the antenna forms straight up to the ceiling, it's considered out of bounds. So it does not have to hit the antenna. All it has to do is break that plane.
There's no question it was not above, but let's take a look now and see which side of the pipe does it go on.
Oh, it does look like it's out of bounds. Good call by the official.
And it was on our side of the net, and I thought it might be. But everybody in Pacific jumped off the bench. And you talk about momentum. Well, that fickle character is now sitting on the shoulders of Jamie Long as Hawaii goes ahead 6-5.
You never know where Jamie's serve's going to go. All you know is it's going to be tough one way or the other. She's got that big topspin serve. She gets it in again.
Beckenhauer with the dump. Very happy about that one. Puts it in Trishman's lap, and it goes back over to Pacific. Coming out and taking a breather is the freshman, Katie Eldridge. Pfeiffer up front. Vicky Simonis. First time we've seen Vicky Simonis in the match, a freshman from Palatine, Illinois.
The first team high school All-American. Mostly those Illinois players stay at home. It's surprising she went west.
Pfeiffer ties it up at 6.
Dave Shoji, one chess master, versus John Dunning, the other chess master. Both of them utilizing their substitutes tonight, utilizing their timeouts every chance they can to control the tempo of the game.
Hawaii calling timeout at 3-2 Pacific. I can't ever remember Hawaii calling an earlier timeout.
Well, Dave Shoji did not want to let game 2 get away like game 1 did. Pacific jumped out to a big lead early. He did not want that to happen again.
6-5. We're tight right now. Here's a short set to T. And T just murdered that ball. Get another ball.
There's exactly what I predicted sooner. I said T. Williams needs some different kinds of sets. Here comes what they call a 3 set. It's a low set along the net to the 3 area. called a 31 actually, because it's supposed to be 1 foot above the height of the net in the 3 area along the 3 zone.
Boyer needs some confidence building. She had a rough night so far with some of her sets. That will help. Beckenhauer to Pfeiffer. Over the top. Chrissy jumped a little bit early to do what she wanted to do on that. And Nishida can't put it away. Short set. Bronson kept alive. And T just pokes it over and high. Pfeiffer again doesn't get what she wants. There's the one outside to T. Kept alive by Lance. Tipped over the top. Good dig. Good play by T. Kept alive by Nishida. Bronson. And they can't make the play, but the crowd loves the defense.
And this knowledgeable Plum crowd applauds for both teams, despite the fact that Hawaii lost that rally. They're clapping for all 12 players on the court as they all laid themselves out of this Plum gym floor, chasing after volleyball after volleyball. There's one sprawling dig right there. T. Williams, Sanders saving it right there. Nishida battling at the net. Bronson going down to her knees. Jamie Long going down. That's what makes them number one. They scramble and hustle so well.
Nishida jumping early. Pfeiffer through the block. Bronson hits it out of bounds. It's a point. Dave Shoji is just pointing thumbs up to Tony Nishida, saying, get up. So it may not be the set so much. They might have a planned play for Nishida, but whatever it is, Hawaii misconnecting on a couple of sets and hits up front. That time Nishida hits it hard, and Kathy Scotland with a big dig. Outside to T. That time Scotland can't do anything with it. The Plum crowd, Chris, wants so much to get into this match.
And spikes like that, get out the radar gun. Let's check the speed on that one. Kathy Scotland just simply could not get out of the way. As T hits her favorite cross-court shot right here, and Scotland, had she gotten out of the way, the ball probably would have been out. But T hits it so hard, it often freezes the defense, just like that.
You got about a quarter of a second to decide, should I or should I not? Tough play up front, and that's going to be an ace for Hawaii. Sherry Boyer, not known for her ace serves. Matter of fact, she's one of the team leaders in service errors, but that one worked.
Excellent cross-court serve right there. Dean Nowak picking out the zone that he wants the server to place the ball into by designating with his fingers.
Second setter coming into the match now to play some back row defense. Carol Conti, the freshman from Linden, California. She comes in for Kathy Scotland. Pacific with a lot of subs left. It's only their 5th sub of this match. I'm sorry, of this game. They get 12, don't forget. Pfeiffer. T kept it alive. Great athletic move with her left hand. Elena Oden hits it in. Elena Oden with a clear spike that time.
Again, we saw there how very important it is when you dig a ball to keep the ball on your own side of the court. Once you bump it up over the net, it's a free kill for the other team if they've got any kind of front line at all.
Elena Oden's a front line unto herself. And there's a good kill as T gets it back. So Hawaii starting to rely a little more on T. Some of the other players who have been so big so far this season have not done the job in the game 1.5. And T is doing the job here in game 2.
Another brand new set for T that time. She hit a what they call a back one, a quick set behind the setter. So instead of getting the very predictable high, wide, long, looping, high 4 set where the blockers can go out and camp on her, she's now catching them off guard by coming in much more quickly to the net.
Best thing that Hawaii could possibly do tonight would be to make some adjustments and come back. Ball is lifted by Beckenhauer. Second time she's done that. 8-7 Hawaii. Dog eat dog out here tonight.
Beckenhauer made all Big West freshman team last year. She's a great young setter. Doesn't make that many mistakes. Last night she had way too many, though. Dunning was not happy with her play last night.
Jamie Long through the block, kept alive by Oden. Beckenhauer on her knees setting that one. Chance for Hawaii. Nishida goes to Jamie Long. Lance up front. Here's Pfeiffer, and again, Pfeiffer's had about 5 balls in a row she couldn't do much with. Jamie Long goes over the top, but there's Beckenhauer. Elena Oden just pops it over the top. Chance for Hawaii. From the back row, T! How sweet T is!
Oh my goodness, talk about a terrific shot. Here it is right there. The T-bomb coming from out of the back row, flying like Superwoman to get a kill for Hawaii and put them ahead.
John Dunning has to call timeout. Deafening and Plum, and Hawaii is definitely ahead. Hawaii's service ace leader, was spending a little extra time tonight practicing her serve before the match. She has 11 service aces. And she also has 23 service errors, by far the team leader in that category. And that ball might have been out, but Pacific saved it. And Pfeiffer again can just push it over. It is 10-7 Hawaii, and T back to serve again. Coming back into the game, Kathy Scotland. Scotland for Conti. She'll go into the back row, Chris. What do you think about this move?
I think Dunning just trying to slow the game down without having to take a timeout.
Outside, Scruggs goes down the line. It lands out. 11-7 Hawaii.
We saw Quentin Dorr with his famous cap that claps. Oh, back row attack by Pacific. John Zabrisky's going to call it right now. Ball was above the net. Setter Melanie Beckenhauer went above the net and attacked it over.
And like a player who fouls in basketball, she raises her hand as if we didn't know it. And John Dunning calls his second and final timeout.
Oh.
12-7 Hawaii leading. T. Williams with the serve after Dunning calls his second and final timeout in game 2. Pfeiffer finally puts one down. It's been about 8 hits since Pfeiffer has done damage like she did on that hit.
That time she just snuck it inside the Hawaii block. Hawaii blocker's not penetrating over quite enough, and here comes the Clum crowd once again.
It's a question by Dunning. He wants to make sure he's got the right server back there. Pfeiffer serves it. Jamie Long off the block. Good dig. She hit it over from the back row, and that'll cost Hawaii as Scruggs gets the point. And Dave Shoji does not like what he's seen out there on the rotation on the Pacific side.
Yeah, what happened was John Dunning, right before Chrissy Pfeiffer was going to serve that time, looked over at the score table and said, "Who is our server? I think we're out of rotation." And it threw off the Hawaii players just slightly, but John Zabriskie, the referee, had blown the whistle already, and the players were sort of in a state of disarray and confused, and Dave didn't like it.
8-12, Pacific trying to come back in game 2. No question, Hawaii cannot let up. Ball lands out, not tipped. Pacific begging for a tip. Laura Phillips is going to come into the game to serve for Hawaii. And also checking back in is going to be Katie Eldridge. Eldridge comes in for Pfeiffer. Now he says, wait a minute, he's waiting for Randy Shaw to acknowledge it. Tony Nishida comes out for Phillips.
Laura Phillips, who's played brilliantly in the back row for Hawaii this year, coming in to serve for Tony Nishida and play some back row. She should pick up some key digs. She always does.
Great serve and a tough set now for Oden. Oden goes long. Elena Oden. They're looking for a tip. Beckenhauer to the linesman says, open your eyes. And Elena Oden is now talking to referee John Zabriskie.
In that kind of play where the spike is right in front of the referee will rarely look to the linesman to see if there's a touch or not, because there's only 2 or 3 feet away from him. And Zabriskie rightly that time just made the call on his own, no touch.
13-8 Pacific in disarray. Can't get the ball over on this one. It's 14-8. Chris, they've let the crowd get to him, and they've let Hawaii and what they think is some referee mistakes get to him. Game point for Laura Phillips. Up front, Beckenhauer to Oden. Off the pancake attempt as 2 Hawaii players squashed together. It's side out for Pacific. Checking in Vicky Simonis.
What a lift Laura Phillips just gave Hawaii when she came in and served those 2 balls. Got the Hawaii off 13, got them to 14, got them to game ball. Key plays by Laura Phillips. 2 beautiful serves.
14-8, the server coming in, Vicky Simonis. John Dunning going more to his bench tonight. More variety we've seen from Dunning. Malin Franson trying to get it off the blockers, but she misses again. It goes out.
Again, Hawaii pulling out a few more tricks, running a few more plays, and not being quite so predictable. All part of Coach Shoji and Nowak's plan.
A serve. T. Williams with a mistake. So there you see the real rarity. Not only does Franson hit one out and make a mistake, but T. Williams makes a mistake, and Mary Robbins comes back in for Phillips.
Right there we saw T. Williams trying to cover for Phillips, something that a starter will often do until a substitute gets warm.
T this time goes up, tough set outside. And kept alive nicely by Jamie Long, but a free shot for Pacific. And they don't take advantage of it. Franzen goes outside to Jamie Long. She tips it. And into the net goes Kathy Scotland. So a mistake by Scotland. So amidst all the great plays, we're seeing some errors on both sides.
Well, Pacific last night gave away an awful lot of points. They haven't given away nearly as many tonight. And that's why they won game number 1. But game number 2 there, Scotland just gave that point to Hawaii with that net violation.
14-10. Hawaii trying to wrap up game 2. Back to serve is Malin Franzen. Franzen serves Scotland. Beckenhauer back set. Tipped. Can't keep it going. So it's side out to Pacific. Back and forth we go.
Devin Scruggs, the 4.0 high school GPA. Smart player, smart shot. She's coming out of the game right now, but she just got them the last side out. Get some high fives from Dunning and the bench.
Well, there's Shaney back in, so what Dunning has got now is a complete back row of second-team players. Outside to Jamie Long. Side out to Hawaii.
Jamie Long really cranked that one up. She saw there was only one blocker up. She really let loose with that last spike. That time, Scotland just got faked out completely on that beautiful set by Boyer. At the end of the play, Beckenhauer hits it into the net, but the credit really that time to Jamie Long for spiking that ball and putting Pacific in trouble.
Babe is at the bat as Kalulu serving, and Pacific keeps it alive. No, they don't. Mary Robbins, though, can't save it off the net. And Pacific comes back from the timeout and makes it 7-2. Elena Oden has served 5 points for Pacific.
And T says, come on, let's go. She's the captain on the floor right now. And she's saying, let's get a good pass right now. That's the key that starts every serve receive is the good pass, then a set, and then, of course, the spike. T. Williams saying, come on, let's pass the ball and give Sherry a good pass. But now, Jamie Long is coming out of the game.
First time tonight we've seen Joanna Som. She's got a little bit of a cold or bronchitis too. Joanna Som, the backup setter on Hawaii. Played for some awfully good teams in Boca Raton, Florida. There's a nice set to the other setter. Back to Som, the lefty hit. And there's something Pacific didn't know what to do with. Wait a minute, where did this lefty come into the game?
Southpaw from Boca Raton, who's hitting .390 for the year. That's an impressive stat right there. She's a steady player, one of the most highly recruited players in the country. Turned down Duke. Turned down
Tulane.
UCLA. Turned down Arizona. Turned down Stanford. Dad was a 3-year basketball starter at Notre Dame.
2-7 Hawaii trying to score some points. He watches that one land out. Scruggs trying to get cute and just pop it down the line. In retrospect, she says, I probably shouldn't have done that. 3-7. Mary Robbins trying to rally Hawaii in game 3.
Nice pursuit by Hawaii that time.
Mary Robbins can't dig that one. Ball hit nicely by Pam Lance. We haven't called Pam's name in quite some time. Good sign for Pacific when she gets back into it.
Again, as I said earlier, she shows up at the best times for John Dunning, hitting the seam right there. A little quick 31 set. Gets the side out, stops the bleeding for Pacific, squelches Hawaii's rally.
Mary looks like she's about to play patty cake sitting on the floor there. Lefty serve in the back that time. Cheney. Outside set. Roofed by Hawaii, but right there is Pacific. Lance again, T. Passes it up front. Here's Joanna Som. She is roofed. T keeps it alive and puts it over. Great play by Joanna Som and Trishman diving. Boyer with the dig. Here's Som. Tough set that time, and she just pops it over. Chance for the Tigers. Off the block. T dives in the middle of a bunch of players. They're stepping over each other. Great defense and a great rally. And that time, Kathy Scotland. Well, just superb defense, Chris, from the Hawaii team on that one, and Scotland whiffs.
Well, great coverage this time by T. William Sanders, and Sam pops it back over. Pacific scrambling to make the play, and at the end of the play right here, Scotland just hits it into the net. Again, the long rallies tend to go Hawaii's way. The Pacific, to their credit, has also won quite a few long rallies tonight.
It's even at best for Hawaii tonight, as Pacific has been in there solid all night, and that time Kathy Scotland cranks one down. 7-3 Pacific leading. We are in game 3, and here's a big move for Pacific. Coming back in is Chrissy Pfeiffer. Oh yeah, you forgot about her.
Pacific's best block in the game right now. They've got Pfeiffer at 6'3". They've got Beckenhauer, who's second in the team in blocks at 6 feet, and they've got Scotland, their best blocker, the Big West best blocker up front. So Hawaii needs a side out right here.
4 hits called on Hawaii, even though they struggled to get it over. It did tip off a player. 8-3 Pacific. This is a strong Tiger team. T passes it, Boyer. Trishman can't do much with it. And a lift called against Hawaii. It is 9-3.
That time as Carrie Trishman tried to cover herself, she just held on to the ball a little too long. T says, let's go, girls. Pull it together. Let's not give up. This is the swing game, game number 3.
Boyer tries a dump shot. It doesn't work, though, and that time it's partially blocked. Trishman can't make the play. It's 10-3. And with the score 10-3, Dave Shoji leaps off the bench and calls his second and final timeout of game 3. Pacific running away and trying to hide.
Three, with Pacific up by a score of 11-3.
Well, Hawaii's not playing flat tonight, but they're not playing at their peak. The Pacific is looking to run away here in game number 3. It's Kalulu with his serve, and T just slams that ball outside the line. Kalulu comes back in for Sam. Good serve, but Pacific gets the side out.
That time Boyer not quite deceptive enough to fool that young lady right there, Kathy Scotland. Scotland made it out to block T. T tried to hit around her, and she hit out.
Nothing will make you hungrier than losing. That's what John Dunning said, because Hawaii had beaten Pacific 6 in a row. They made it 7 in a row last night. But game 3 tonight, Pacific 12-3. They're not just beating Hawaii, they're blowing them away right now. Scotland goes down the line. T yells out, and it is out.
Notice they're serving T as well. Kathy Scotland trying to make T back up and pass the ball from the back line, and then have to run all the way up and attack the ball. Smart serving strategy by the Pacific Tigers.
Tigers also feeling if they can beat T, they can beat anybody on this Hawaii team. 3-12. Here's Laura Phillips. See if she can spark Hawaii. Dave Shoji moving them around on the floor. Pfeiffer's roof. Not the set she wanted from Beckenhauer. It's 4-12.
Hawaii blocked very tight here. 4 hands across. T. Williams gets it, but Mary Robbins was right there as well.
Hawaii has not been able to string together points like Pacific has, obviously, in game 3. And it's 4-12. They need a bunch here. Cross court to Oden, and Oden misses badly. 5-12. John Dunning tells Beckenhauer he wants the 3-5 set.
Former player of the year, Elena Oden, 85 and 86.
Where are they going to go with this one, Chris?
I think Oden's going to get another chance. She does, but they misconnect.
So from the sidelines, Dunning said where he wanted it to go. I don't think he wanted it to go to John Zabriskie, and that's where it went. John Dunning calls time. Hawaii has made it 6-12.
The Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic returns. Be there.
After the timeout by John Dunning. Chrissy Pfeiffer is roofed again. Pfeiffer tried to hit it from deep and off to the side, and Hawaii's roofing.
Well, the block is bringing Hawaii back right now. That's one of the best and most effective ways to score points, as T and Mary Robbins teamed up that time.
Laura Phillips serving. Tough play from the back row. Hit over by mistake, though, by Franzen. And Beckenhauer that time dumps it. Hawaii wants a lift on that one or a push. They're not going to get it.
Again, that's a very subjective call. As we see Beckenhauer go up here. Let's see if she carries it. No, it looks like she had released the ball fairly quickly. It didn't last too long.
3 ways they can call that. One is if you come from too far behind your head. The other 2 are technical and obviously subjective, but that's what the referee has to make that split-second judgment on. Beckenhauer's now back to serve. 12-7. Hawaii picked up 4 points. Short set, Nishida is roofed on a solo block by Pfeiffer. 13-7.
There's a mismatch. The 6'3" Pfeiffer who grabs the rim, and Tony Nishida at 5'8".
She almost grabbed the ball that time. Pfeiffer serving, Boyer setting. Here's T. Who else? Just puts it in the middle. Chance for Pacific. Pfeiffer. Bronson. T outside to Boyer. Boyer can't really get a good shot on the kill. And Pacific unable to capitalize on it. Side out Hawaii.
Hawaii not giving up despite being down 7-13, and Tony Nishida has just come into the game, and something always happens when she arrives on the scene. At least in the last 4 matches, she's always made something happen with a big block. Let's see if she can do it here.
Nishida, Kalulu, Phillips, Payette, the subs that make it happen for Hawaii. Good serve, but it tips the net. So Sherry Boyer, second on the team in service errors, hits one into the net and changes the momentum back over to Chrissy Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer will now be in the back row for Pacific. She barely gets it over, but that's good enough. Bronson outside, off the block. Diving players. Hi, nice to meet you. Devin Scruggs on Beckenhauer. Side out Hawaii.
Here we see the ball going off the block. Beckenhauer making a diving save, and they're right on top of her piggyback. That's the piggyback defense.
Is that a volleyball term?
It's Devin Scruggs. No, I don't think it is. I think it's an elementary schoolyard term. Let's go piggyback. In any case, Pacific plays great defense. Both their block and their back court is excellent. John Dunning has always been known as an outstanding defensive coach.
And Beckenhauer, the setter, gets up there next to Kathy Scotland, and she has a lot of blocks this year for Pacific. Oh, great defense by Nishida. She on the floor puts that one over. Kept alive by Lance. Here's T, and T lets it land. It lands inside the line. Crowd doesn't like it. Doesn't matter. It's side out to Pacific.
Crowd didn't like it, but linesman Ross Ozaki made the correct call. All the people who were standing near the line knew that was in. The people at the other end of the gym just couldn't tell.
T wanted to go for that one last minute, decided not to. Obviously, in retrospect, she knows she should have. Phillips, good pass up to Boyer. Back set that time. 2 Hawaii players jumping, trying to throw off Pacific. Here's Kalulu. Over the top. There's Pacific with the dive. Kept alive by Scruggs and put over. Boyer, T behind the 10-foot line, goes right into the net. So that was a planned play. I don't think Shoji cared for it, but it was a planned play as she went back to T. And Pacific now doubling Hawaii at 14-7 as game point in game 3.
John Dunning going into this match said he would love to just get a game, maybe 2 games, so that he could have a psychological advantage if and when Hawaii has to play this Pacific team up at Spanos.
Kalulu, but a great defense. No, it goes off to the freshman. Katie Eldridge couldn't get a piece of it. The Babes fan club as Phillips checks out and Frischman comes back in for Hawaii. Beckenhauer outside. Lance partially blocked Kalulu. Boyer, here's Kalulu again. She goes through the block.
Oh, they're high-fiving all around tonight as Babes Kalulu at 5'6" beats the 6-foot monster block of Pacific.
Nishida, tough play, and Tristan puts it right down, but right to Scotland. Off the block. Nishida. Boyer to Kalulu, tough play for Babes. Wasn't the prettiest play of the night, but Kerry Trishman gets the point for Hawaii. It's 9-14.
Actually, a very sloppy kind of a kill, but Hawaii will take it any way they can get it right now as Trishman just tipped the ball over, grabbed her shoulder, but it pulled her arm out of her socket on that one, as she and Boyer definitely did not connect smoothly on that play.
It's like a Texas leaguer. It goes in the books as a base hit. That'll go in the books as a kill. Trishman not getting the set exactly where she wanted. I think she'll take the point, though. 9-14. Coming into the match now, number 15, Vicky Simonis, replacing Elena Oden, who was digging nicely in the back row. So she'll get a rest, and you know she'll be back.
As Janie McHugh had said earlier, they'd like the rest of their big players, pace them throughout this match, and hope they're stronger in the end.
Nishida serving, trying to move Hawaii into double figures. Scruggs off of Trishman, side out to Pacific. Checking back in for Pacific, try to serve for the game will be Heather Shaney. He comes in for Scruggs, so both benches being utilized a lot in game 3. We're tied at 1 apiece. Lefty serve by Shaney. Nishida, Bronson, tough play for Kalulu. She just pops it over. Chance for Pacific to end it. Outside, Scotland gets it over. Trishman puts it down.
Hawaii very lucky that time as they had to bump the ball over and gave Pacific a free ball. And Pacific absolutely blew a chance in their transition game there to score the game-winning point. Instead, they bumped it over the net, and Trishman got the kill.
We saw Pacific miss a lot of plays in transition last night. Tonight, they're doing a lot more of that as Pam Lance just killed that ball. And Pacific again serving for game number 3, and here comes Pfeiffer. We'll check back in for Katie Eldred. Pfeiffer up front. You can bet they'll go to her if they have the opportunity.
And again, this is their best blocking rotation with Pfeiffer, Beckenhauer, and Scotland up front.
Boyer short set. Trishman!
Oh, they're having fun in Plum tonight, despite the fact that Hawaii's down 9-14 in game 3. This crowd is really trying to get into it, bring the Bows back.
Great serve by Kalulu. That time Beckenhauer. There's Kalulu. Tough play for Pacific. They'll save it, though. Trishman, chance for Hawaii on the transition. Teed up. And blocked. Oh, big kill that time. That ball looked like it hit the blocker. And they're giving Hawaii the point. I'd love to see that one, Chris.
John, I'll tell you why they're giving it to Hawaii. It did touch Hawaii's block, but the back row attacker was over the 10-foot line. Right here, they stepped over the red line, which is the 10-foot line. Right there, we see her footstep on the line, which is a violation. So no matter what happened after that point, it would have gone to Hawaii no matter what.
Good call by Zabriskie as he saw it. 10-14. Good serve again. Nishida with a diving dig. Trishman!
This might have been the best play of the year right here. The end of that play with Boyer going to Trishman. Few words, a little chirping across the net right there, but the big play was Tony Nishida picking up the dump by Scotland in the middle. What a play by Nishida out of the back row to make that whole thing happen.
A lot of times the player who makes that first save doesn't get credit. That time you hear the Clum crowd, they give everybody credit. Timeout Pacific.
Oh, did I get on there, Greg? Sorry.
Okay.
On that kind of a play, if you can, you got to back it up to the big play, which was Nishida's dig.
Do we have that?
You know, we just saw the kill at the end of the play.
The last one.
But the very last play, yeah. All we got was Boyer setting the ball. What really made the whole play was the 1-2-3.
Let's see what you got.
When you dig the ball, it's so hard to control it to the spot like that, especially relying on the ground. In order to set the person in the middle, it's just got to be so precise. I thought it was the best play of the year for Hawaii. In my opinion.
Let's see what you got.
It's so hard to do what Nishida did.
Okay,
Yeah,
go
right
back a little bit further than that. A little bit further so we can actually watch us make it.
Yeah,
Here you go.
From right there. This is what I think was the best play of the year by Hawaii. Falling down, putting it right to the spot. Trishman having to approach quickly and put it down.
Not only does she save it, she puts it right to Boyer.
Yeah, just buries it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You'd be happy just to get a save there. Instead, Hawaii gets a precise location on it.
All right, back it up a little more so we can actually watch her tip it over. Back it, no, back.
Right there, that's good.
Right there.
You do it. This may be Hawaii's best play of the year. Watch Tony Nishida right here as she goes down and passes the ball right to the spot, goes to Boyer. Trishman quickly approaching, catching Pacific off guard. They're back in this game at 11-14.
Great presence of mind to put it right to Boyer in the middle by Tony Nishida. Pfeiffer! Pfeiffer getting stuffed that time. That young lady, there's an All-American smile. Substitution coming back in. Trying to make some change in momentum. Shaney comes out, Scruggs comes in.
That's one of the advantages of having a 6-1 setter. You get big blocks like that. Hawaii's creeping back.
Kalulu with the serve. Beckenhauer sets it. Pfeiffer off of Nishida. Side out to Pacific. They've lost a lot of momentum, but they only need 1 point in game 3.
Their 5th chance at game ball. Let's see if Hawaii can continue to stave them off. Their backs are against the wall. True test of Hawaii's character right here.
Scotland to serve. Trishman to Boyer. T just pops it over. Off of Boyer, and it's going to be Pacific's game. So Hawaii comes back, but not enough. 15-12, Tigers leading 2-1.
Leader at 14, Pfeiffer with 14 for Pacific. Let's see how Hawaii starts here in game number 4.
Off the block, Oden dive for Hawaii, takes the first point.
Here's one of the reasons why Pacific is leading 2-1. T. William Sanders is the leading blocker for Hawaii with 3. How about Scotland and Beckenhauer with 7 blocks and 6 blocks respectively. They've got 13 to Hawaii's 3 right there just in that one category with 3 players.
A lot of the UH players expected to be blocked all night last night. They were surprised at not how easy it was, but that it wasn't all that difficult. They were able to go through the blockers tonight. It's a different story. Another good serve by Kalulu. Off the block that time. Here's Boyer. Fishman, good play by Carey. She goes off the side of Kathy Scotland's hands, and it's a point for Hawaii.
That time Carey did a nice job of bringing the ball back across her body rather than hitting the more predictable way. She usually goes at the straight angle. She brought it back across. A little cutback shot there. Showed Pacific a new shot.
Up front, Scotland off of Kalulu. Boyer outside to T. Banged off the head of Scotland. You can head the ball, but it's much better to do it in soccer. That time Scotland heads it out.
I see a new intensity in the eyes of the Hawaiian players right here. As you see a jump set by Boyer to T on the outside. It goes off Scotland's head, the best blocker in the country. Can't stop T.
Great dig by Franson. It goes over, though, and Lance puts it off of Robbins. Hawaii with the good defense. T. Scruggs, Beckenhauer, roofed up front. Kept alive nicely. Great defense by both of these teams. Trishman off of Elena Oden. What a block. And that time, Carrie Trishman didn't use good judgment. She could have kept it up for Hawaii. But they say over the net against Pacific. John Dunning looks like he's seen a ghost. He can't believe it.
Now, there was a quick whistle by John Zabriskie that time. He corrected himself. It wasn't because Dunning stood up. Dave Shoji knows it. It was just a quick whistle. He just pointed his hand in the wrong direction that time. It's a Pacific side out.
Carrie Trishman took the ball, tried to put it over. It was blocked immediately by Pacific, and they get the side out. T off the block and a dive that time, and hitting the floor hard was Pam Lance. I tell you, you play volleyball for 2 hours in this weather and start hitting the floor hard, that'll take its toll on you.
There's a 1-3, a little quick play by Shoji and company. I didn't think they'd have to pull out plays in Hawaii. Dave was hoping they'd be able to hold out a few cards from his deck and not have to show everything, just in case they had to go up to Stockton and show Dunning a few new tricks. He's pulling out some new tricks right now here in game 4, because he'd love to come out of here with 2 matches in his favor rather than giving Dunning a split.
If he shows enough tricks, Dunning won't know how to defend all of them, that's for sure. Pfeiffer again not getting a full piece of the ball. T pushing it right back to Pfeiffer, though. Here's Pfeiffer up front. Off the block, kept alive by Franzen. And T with the kill, and it lands in. And what a play that was by Malin Franzen. Oh, did she hit that up perfectly for T. Williams-Sanders.
Malin Franzen makes one of the most difficult plays in volleyball. The bump set from the back line, puts it up perfectly to within 3 or 4 feet of the front line, in front of the net, and giving T. Williams-Sanders a beautiful set when she hits cross court and gets a kill.
Probably a good time to mention, don't forget, tickets are on sale now for the NCAA Volleyball Championships at Blaisdell, December 14th and 16th. Tickets are available daily at UH's athletic ticket office from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The ticket prices are $20 for the arena level and $14 for the balcony level seats, and that includes both nights, the 14th and the 16th. Still some good seats left for that Final Four championship in Hawaii. Oh, Boyer tries to tip it over, can't do it. Side out to Pacific, it is 0-4. So Hawaii has picked up some momentum from game 3. Pacific, perhaps though, just catching their breath. Boyer with a dump shot. Oh, the Poway pounder. Boyer looked like Jordan dunking that one, but a legal play as she puts it down.
We haven't seen much of this in the last 2 nights. She did it a lot against the Soviets, but it's called the setter's dump shot. She goes up on a set close to the net. She's a front row player. She can go up and attack it. Instead of setting, she attacked it. Very well-chosen play that time by Boyer.
Lena Oden taking some time to wipe herself off, possibly trying to stop the bleeding. Right now as Hawaii is ahead 4-0 and looking good. T from the outside. Blocked by Scotland. Beckenhauer off Oden. Oden couldn't get up high enough, and T puts it back. It's blocked. Just defense to defense. Mary Robbins trying to go up. Net violation called against Pacific. Net violation called against Beckenhauer. She says, no, not me. It's 5-0.
John Zabriskie quick to make that net call as Beckenhauer went up and tapped the ball back over. Picked up a net. Mary Robbins happy about that play. Hawaii goes up 5-0 here in game 4.
For those unfamiliar with it, the referee does keep his hand right on the net to feel for those violations. 6-0. Not only was that a good kill by Hawaii, a net violation for Pacific, and a timeout for John Dunning.
Season tickets are on sale now for another thrilling University of Hawaii men's volleyball season. UH has an exciting home schedule featuring national powerhouses UCLA, BYU, Long Beach State, and UC Irvine. The Warriors return starters Stephen Hunt, Shane Welch, and Nick Costello, and welcome highly touted newcomers J.P. Marks, Nick West, and Johan Timmer. Purchase your season tickets now at HawaiiAthletics.com or call 944-2697. See you at the Stan Sheriff Center for hard-hitting Warrior volleyball.
You know what's cool about Farmers Hawaii? They offer so many ways to save on auto insurance, like their group discounts. They give special rates to members of nearly 200 local organizations. Chances are you belong to one of them, just like me. Find out how much you can save on your auto insurance.
Call Farmers Hawaii today, 533-2444.
What can 650 buy you for dinner? Announcing the 650 platter after 5 p.m. every day at Taco Del Mar. Get a great deal on a complete meal, now just $6.50 after 5 every day at Taco Del Mar. This Christmas, shine a light on the photographer in your life at Lighthouse Camera. We've got everything your photographer could want to really shine. At Lighthouse Camera, you'll find a huge selection of cameras and camera accessories in every price range. And your gift will come with help after the sale, with expert advice from actual photographers. Stop by and see why Lighthouse Camera is Hawaii's biggest and best camera source. This year, make it a spectacular Christmas for your photographer at Lighthouse Camera.
Let's give Hawaii athletes a high five. Chris Tanaka and Mike Cherry shine the spotlight on Hawaii's sports stars every Tuesday on Hawaii News Now at 6:30 and 9, only on K5. High Five is sponsored by 76 Gas.
6-0 in Game 4. You probably didn't know there was a Game 4. Well, Hawaii's in one tonight, and they need to win it to stay alive. Chrissy Pfeiffer puts it down for for Pacific. Hawaii in their first Game 4 of the year against Pacific. Also trailing for the first time this year, 2-1 in a match. Short set, Robbins off the block, and Scruggs might have lost her footing there. Devin Scruggs might have slipped on the floor. I want to remind you that Chris and I are going to be selecting the GTE Hawaiian Tel Most Valuable Rainbow at the end of tonight's match. Hawaiian Tel will present $100 to the General Scholarship Fund of UH in the name of that player who went beyond the call. 6-0 Hawaii. Here is Scruggs just popping it over. Chance for the Rainbows. Franson off the block. Off the net. Defense kept alive. Beautiful play by Beckenhauer. Chance though for Boyer. To Franson. Off the block. It lands in. It lands out. 7-0 Hawaii.
Hawaii very fortunate that time to get a free ball from Pacific. They did not get a good pass to the net, did not get a good set from Boyer, and still lucked out and got the point. The ball is starting to bounce Hawaii's way right now.
What an amazing game volleyball is. Last game tight as Hawaii came back 15-12. Now they've pulled ahead 7-0. That time Elena Oden doesn't have to get up that high as she is just strong and kills that one.
And there's another question mark. Can Elena Oden's knees last in a 4 or 5 game match with this kind of humidity, this kind of heat? And will the rest she got earlier tonight help her to go a long match?
Chrissy Pfeiffer, another one who's played very strongly tonight. And Chrissy Pfeiffer, as she went over to the sideline, not even talking things over with the trainer. Gotta believe her ankle is A-OK tonight thus far.
The concern, John Dunning, highly successful high school coach from Fremont High School in Sunnyvale, California. Runs a top-notch junior program in the Bay Area.
And between he and Terry Leskevich, Pacific has done no worse than being in a regional final in the last 10 years. The worst they've done has been in a regional final. All the other years they were in the Final Four. This hit that time by Scruggs, 8-0 Hawaii. Dunning calls for the freshman, Carol Conti, to come in the back row, play some defense, give a break to Kathy Scotland. Kathy Scotland, Pfeiffer, and Oden right now numbers 3, 2, and 1 all time on the Pacific hitting chart. Back set for Oden, blocked by Hawaii. Boyer all the way across to Franson, just tips it over, and she'll get a kill for that. Boy, when it's going your way, Chris, it really goes your way. Timeout Pacific, 9-0 Hawaii. A skunk possibly? We'll see.
Tonight on Hawaii News Now, an historic homecoming for Schofield soldiers returning from Iraq. Plus, a truck plows into an elderly man in a Waipahu crosswalk, and North Korea loses its leader. The latest on Kim Jong-il's death and the country's future.
And all through the house, not a sound, not even a mouse.
But they're Aloha Kia hamsters, and they're making your Christmas better. Buy a Kia, get $1,000 to shop. Drive the all 2012 Rio 5-door for $199 a month, or the 40-mile-per-gallon Highway Optima Hybrid for $159 a month. Mele Kalikimaka from Aloha Kia.
Who has the most gas stations in Hawaii? Here's a hint. Take a closer look. 76, now with the most locations in the islands.
Visit your locally owned 76 Gas neighborhood friends, like Tendall's Auto Repair in Waipahu, and Dan 76 on Farrington Highway in Waianae.
Happy holidays, hula le hula!
Are you looking for that one-of-a-kind holiday gift for your family and friends? We have a wide variety of island-style interior goods. Also, Resort Island wear brands. Mena from New Zealand and Ta from Cook Island. You can find at our Hula Lehua stores. located in the heart of Honolulu's Ala Moana Shopping Center and Sheraton Waikiki.
Join Hawaii News Now and the Hawaii Food Bank in helping families in need. Go to any participating supermarket, look for the bright green tags at the register, scan the ticket, and donate to help Hawaii's hungry. Mahalo.
It's 9-0 at Clum Gym. It's not getting any cooler in here, and the play is certainly heated up. Pacific, as you expected, Chris McLaughlin out-blocking Hawaii by a wide margin, but right now, it doesn't matter in Game 4.
Well, they have blocked well all night. They're doing to Hawaii what they did to Long Beach State last week, out-blocking them almost 2-1. Against Long Beach State, they out-blocked them 22-8. They're up 16-7 on Hawaii, and if Hawaii doesn't get a few more blocks themselves, they're going to be in trouble in Game 5, but right now they're on a roll in game number 4, attempting to tie this match up.
They have to get to Game 5 before they can look at it. Mary Robbins serving for Hawaii. Good diving play by Conti, and just tipped over by Pam Lance. So Hawaii with a free ball here. Kept alive. And put in a hole where no one was home. Hawaii scrambling on that play. Sloppy defense, unusual for Hawaii. And sloppy defense by Pacific, but they get the side out.
Pam Lance, one of only 2 seniors on this UOP team, makes the smart play that time and hits the ball into the open area of the court. Randy Shaw and John Dunning having a little discussion right there as to who's going to be coming in for whom. And it's Kathy Scotland coming in for Conti right now.
So Conti made a good diving dig in the back, and now Scotland getting a breather, comes back in. Mary Robbins to Boyer. Trishman right off of Kathy Scotland. There's that short one set, Chris. It works well with Trishman.
The carry's been quiet so far tonight. Hasn't gotten a whole lot of sets in the middle. I have a feeling that Shoji Nowak are going to be asking Sherry Boyer to go to Trishman a little more here as the game goes on.
Kerry came on strong toward the end of Game 3. As Hawaii rallied, and it's propelled them into a big lead here in Game 4. Good defense by Pacific. Lance. Boyer outside. Babes Kalulu is roofed up top. Just too many big people up front for Babes that time.
The time she's up against Scruggs. And Scotland, again, Scotland, maybe the best blocker in the country right there. Gets the big roof with the extended awning over the net.
Fishman off the block. And a net violation call, that time on Pam Lance. She can't believe it. So Pacific questioning a lot of calls up front by the referees. Shaw and Zabriskie, though, will hear none of it. Not real vocal, just some real raised eyebrows and shaking of the head. You need to concentrate more on the play than on the referee's calls.
Not like them to question this many calls. Normally they're a very calm, cool team.
A serve, Kalulu.
Who better to get the credit for it than Babes Kalulu? There's a bullet-like serve, just making it inside the back line as the Pacific players watch it hit the ground. Great knuckler by Kalulu.
No argument that time from Pacific. That's her second service ace of the night. It's 10-0 Hawaii. Kalulu serves again down the line. And Pacific got it over nicely. That was almost an ace serve, turned around, and there's just great defense by Beckenhauer.
Those are coaches' nightmares right there. When you serve a brilliant serve, the other team shanks it. There's Kalulu's serve. Beautiful serve. There's a shank right there, right toward the net. And Beckenhauer just pops it over quickly, catching Hawaii off guard.
Exactly right. Good play by Beckenhauer. Hawaii crowd does not want Pacific to get rid of the goose egg. Gee, Phil Scotland. Kathy Scotland is looking for her memory on that one.
Williams goes up with all kinds of force. You get the radar gun out for that. Get the neck brace out for Kathy Scotland. That just jerked her head back.
I think she lost the first 5 years of her life's memory right there. If she knows she's still in Clum, that's an accomplishment. That baby hurt. Here's Pfeiffer, and she's back in the front row and gets it back for Pacific. Well, we've had some siding out both ways, but Pacific still with the goose egg on the board. Hawaii with a goose egg, but they have a 1 in front of it, 10-0.
Into the game now is Sharon Passer, 6'2" sophomore from Huntington Beach, California. She's come in and played some great matches for Gunning this year. She's the kind of person who can spell Elena Odom and give her a breather here, and that's exactly what's happening right now. as Dunning is almost conceding game number 4 here, down 10-0. He wants to rest the big guns for game 4, I think.
Mary Robbins off the block. Pfeiffer keeps it alive for Lance. He'll have to hit it over, though. Scotland. Kalulu. Boyer. Robbins. Good play by Mary Robbins. The ball tips down.
Hawaii doing their own sort of resting of players then, as Robbins got 2 sets in a row. She normally hasn't seen that. Usually T gets 2 sets in a row.
Cross-court serve set up by Pacific. Pfeiffer not hitting it very hard. T off the block. Robbins goes to the T set.
Did T crank it up that time?
Their 20th of the night.
And she cranked up the crowd right along with it as we saw the crescendo of the word T move around the gym.
Boyer with the serve. Beckenhauer's roofed by Robbins, but kept alive by the defense. Kalulu. Boyer lifted by Boyer. Sherry Boyer doesn't like that one, but Dave Shoji appreciates the effort of his team. Shoji telling his team in Kalulu, get that ball up. Let's keep it up. Beckenhauer back to serve. The throng at Clum. Back set for T.
This is almost cruel, what we're seeing right here, but the crowd right now wants T to get every set so that Pacific will keep the goose egg at 11-0 right now. This crowd really wants to shut out Pacific.
You talk about a home court advantage. If Hawaii can keep on this roll, it's really going to send them flying into a game 5. Jamie Payette in. And there is a rarity. Mark that one down on your calendars at 9/11 on October 13th. Jamie Payette came in and served one into the net.
Kamehameha graduate, walk-on, who's now earned her way to being a team co-captain along with T. William Sanders, making a rare error, as you said. Let's see if she can make up for it with a great pass or a dig right here.
Boyer outside to Kalulu. Roof, it lands outside. Side out Hawaii. Dave Shoji wanted a violation call against Pacific. Didn't matter, but he just wants the refs to be aware of it. 4 kills for Kalulu. Mary Robbins to serve. A floater, Scotland. Tough play for Pacific.
Scotland took an out ball just then. Hawaii very lucky.
Boyer, Bronson.
The clum factor is coming into play as Bronson buries the ball into the floor, and Hawaii picks up their 12th unanswered point.
Mary Robbins digs. Frischman with a good set for Boyer, but she'll just pop it over the top. How about that one?
The ball is bouncing Hawaii's way every time as Boyer just stood on the ground. She's a back row player. She can't attack it, so she just stands there and pops it over, catches Pacific off guard. Hawaii picks up their 13th unanswered point. How about that?
It's KH&L to nothing. Hawaii leading in game 4. Everything going Hawaii's way here. Could this be knocking the wind out of the Tigers? Scotland, a bad set. Chance for Hawaii. Kalulu. Net violation called against Pacific. And on that one, Sharon Kessler jumps up and down. Me? 14-0. Could it be? The crowd will tell you the story right here.
They're breaking tradition and standing up at game point instead of match point.
The greatest UH games ever is brought to you by Aloha Kia, your Ohana dealer since 1997.
Nohea Gallery. Island art, fine crafts. Exquisite, timeless, unique, just right. For now, forever, for everyone. Nohea Gallery at the Ward Warehouse. Mele Kalikimaka from Nohea Gallery.
What I want for Christmas. Buy Xbox. Help Daddy stop smoking.
Fulfill your family's wish list this holiday season and make the switch to a better smoking alternative. The Volcano e-cig, sold exclusively at Volcano Vapor Cafe on Kapahulu Boulevard in the Hihing Plaza. With lots of free parking, free internet, satellite cable on HD screens, it's the perfect environment to enjoy premium Hawaiian coffee, along with a puff off of your new Volcano. Also located at downtown Pro Ridge and Wynwood Mall.
Welcome to Aston Interactive Television. Please position hands on screen. Right now, our Kama'aina rates come with a K-Class pass, good for a free room upgrade, free late checkout, and free parking. Call Aston today.
I tried to wake up early today. I tried to keep things simple today. And if I just keep trying and trying harder, well, something's gonna go my way. I know you're waiting for me.
In league play last week, Pacific had perhaps their biggest 5-set match in a while. They beat Long Beach State. They've got to do it tonight on unfriendly turf as they face Babes Kalulu serving in game number 5. Up front and outside, kept alive. Boyer, T. Off the block, Kalulu. Pfeiffer. Good dig in the back row by Franzen and pushed over by Mary Robbins. Pfeiffer pushes it down. So Chrissy Pfeiffer doesn't have to hit it hard sometimes. She's so tall. She puts it over the block with a slightly off-speed hit.
Both teams are going to play cat and mouse here at the beginning of game number 5, as we saw them both play fairly conservatively. They're right there trying to get that first point on the board. Pacific got a side out of that long rally, but no point. So the chess match goes on. T. Williams Sanders leading all players for the night with 21 kills. Pfeiffer leading for Pacific with 17.
At 21 kills, we're in a 5th game. T is right at her average of about 5 a game. Good move by Carrie Trishman. She leaped up, kind of deceived the Pacific players. And the ball doesn't go over the net. It's side out to Hawaii. 0-0 game 5. John Fink and Chris McLaughlin, glad to be with you on Friday the 13th. Back set to Pfeiffer. Again, she doesn't have to hit it too hard. Chrissy Pfeiffer looking very sharp early in game number 5.
Pfeiffer did not get a great set that time from Beckenhauer. But with her 6'3" height and 30-inch vertical leaping ability, she more than made up for it.
Boyer to T. Off the block and goes over Pam Lance's head.
Oh, a little hesitation move by T that time. There's another new shot. She went in and faked like she was going to hit it quick, and Boyer just lobbed the ball into her. She caught the block off guard. She hesitates, stops right here, then pump fakes, goes up and catches the block off guard.
Beckenhauer is going to go to Oden in the middle. Ball goes wide, not tipped by any defender. We're still at 0.
A rare error from Malin Franzen. We haven't called her name too much tonight. She could be a factor here in game 5 if she can find the court, which she did not do that time.
A tug of war tonight. And a tug of war in game 5. We've gone back and forth 4 times already, and no one has scored. Mary Robbins off of the block.
Sherry Boyer has not set her that set all night long. Both teams pulling out all the stops. New plays, new players hitting new shots. I don't think they're going to wait until they get to the regionals to show the full deck of plays that they have. I think they're going to pull out everything they can tonight. Both coaches.
John Zabriskie is talking. T. Williams and Elena Oden. Not sure what he was talking about. Might have something to do with wiping the sweat up off the floor. They've been asking for it a lot.
It might also be the reaction to the calls that are being made by the players. Some of them are starting to question the referees a little bit. And they're better off, as you said earlier, just pay attention to their play and forget questioning the officials.
T serving for Hawaii. Two captains going over and conversing with the referee. Melanie Beckenhauer said, should I or shouldn't I? She said, I should, and she did not. 1-0 Hawaii.
Well, Hawaii picks up their 16th unanswered point right here as Kalulu launches it out of bounds, but look who gets in the way. Beckenhauer's right arm.
Beckenhauer with the set, though. Mam Lance off of Boyer. Good play by Boyer. Delicate touch. Bronson is partially stuffed. She sets to Kalulu. She is stuffed. Robbins off the top. And Beckenhauer dives into the first row to make the play. It's 2-0.
The question is now, how long can Hawaii play this flawlessly? That is 17 unanswered points in a row. Everything is going Hawaii's way. Pacific has got to be asking questions about when are we going to get a break?
One thing about this match, it's going to make Pacific want to see Hawaii on their home arena even more. No question about that. T serving it out. You think that's unusual? Don't. It's T leads the team by far in service errors.
And remember, this Pacific team has got to play Long Beach down at Long Beach in order to earn that home berth.
In all probability. It's a bidding process. Hawaii will not get it this year. They've had it the last 2 years. Babes!
Kalulu, the smallest player on the court at 5'6", goes up against maybe the best blocker in the country, Kathy Scotland at 6'1", and Babes won that battle.
And John Dunning just said, that's not supposed to happen, is it? Beckenhauer gets out of the way. They call a lift on Beckenhauer. Dunning says, you got to be kidding me. And Chris, you want to hear a strange but true? Pacific has only been skunked in a game once ever. That was in 1979 against UCLA, so you were right on the mark.
Maybe once every 10 years.
Once every 10 years, maybe on Friday the 13th. 10 years ago.
The last play, Dunning was up off the floor, not because of what happened. His player did throw the ball, but the call was a little bit delayed by referee Zabriskie.
Well, wrong is wrong, as Zabriskie saw it. Kalulu is loose, but it goes out. Cast of thousands in the crowd and a cast of hundreds on the floor. Hawaii has had different players making the plays all night long, and John Dunning calls time out. Beckenhauer sets it up. Robbins outside Kalulu. Chrisman puts it over. Scotland is partially blocked, but to no avail. It's side out to Pacific. Kathy Scotland, little look of concern on Kathy's face. Last night she might have been a little bit casual, kind of smiling when she made mistakes. Not tonight.
One of the reasons she's concerned, I think, is that she's only got 6 kills tonight. She averages, for a 5-game match, if you multiply it out, she averages about 3.5 kills a game, so she should have 15 to 17 kills by now. She's way below her average.
Setting it up is Beckenhauer, and missing it is Scotland. And Dunning is on the court. He wants Hawaii over the net on that one. Let's see if they were. Hawaii getting up and putting it down. Were they over the net?
I'm surprised that he's questioning, because here's the spike right there. Oh, he's claiming the entire ball was on Pacific's side of the net.
Let's watch it as it goes up. I don't know if he was right, but he sure jumped off the bench.
See, part of the ball has to break the plane of the net right there in order to be able to attack it. And referee Zabriskie said that it had broken the plane.
4-0 Hawaii. Pacific can't get off 0. Good block up front, kept alive. You can hear the smack of that ball. Outside, good play by Oden as she lets Kalulu's cross-court shot go wide.
Kalulu getting a lot of playing time tonight. I'm very surprised at how much she's getting to play, given the fact she did not fare well against UCLA's big block. She's having much better luck tonight, though.
Lance serving, here's T. Boyer, and Trishman is Roof. There's a point for Pacific, it's 1-4.
And we get some polite applause from the Clum crowd as Pacific picks up their first point in 19 tries right there. The big block from Scotland.
Lulu, she is roofed up front. It lands outside the line. Side out. Pacific players can't believe it, and they're laughing. Chris, I'm beginning to think they're getting homered a little bit.
I don't really think there's any reason for it. Referee Zabriskie, umpire Shaw, the linesmen are all very good. There's nothing in it for them to make calls in Hawaii's favor.
Well, you hate to see a team start deteriorating in that manner where they look to their coach and kind of smirk like, geez, what a bad call that was. And that's what 5 Pacific players did after that last call. They are the most underappreciated players in America. But what an experience they get being right there with the best in the country. She'll sleep well tonight, Mom. Promise you that. Coming into the game, number 15, Vicky Simonis. She'll replace Kathy Scotland, who will get a breather. John Dunning was not a happy man a couple of years ago here at Clum with some of the calls. And, of course, 3 years ago, he didn't like the weather in Clum when it started raining. Almost pulled his team off the floor. But he said in an interview that people make too much of his feeling about Clum. He really doesn't think he thinks it's a great place to play. It's a good gym, and the crowd is great. They know their volleyball. Net violation against T. Point to Pacific. It's 2-4.
Pacific very lucky that time. Simonis did not make a good play in the back row. She's the back row player for Scotland. Hawaii had every opportunity that time to get a side out and didn't take advantage.
Good serve set up by Boyer all the way across to T. The setting lately has been much better. Boyer teeing it up.
Much more precise location that time by Sherry Boyer, giving T just the set she likes. That slow little lob 4 set to the outside, giving T a chance to hit line, seam, or angle.
And a good sign for Hawaii is that Sherry Boyer has come back tonight. She had some trouble in the first couple of games getting it set together with the sets. Ball lands out. It's 5-2. Fishman scoring some points tonight for Hawaii.
That was a very big point for Hawaii right there. They jumped off to a 4-0 lead. Pacific crept back to 4-2, and Hawaii sort of got stuck. They got off 4, and now they have that crucial 5th point.
Paige Kalulu diving. Mary Robbins with a good dig. Good defensive reflexes. Oden off of Trishman's body, and it's kept alive. That time the ball hit through the defense, but Hawaii playing some good defense on a good long rally. Lucy Pfeiffer puts that one down, and she's in the front now with Elena Oden. Big block up front for Pacific.
Talk about high percentage hitters who don't make many mistakes. Chrissy Pfeiffer last year hit .398. 1987, actually 2 years ago. And she's against Long Beach, she hit .327 against one of the top teams in the country. So she doesn't make many errors. She keeps the ball in play very nicely. She's got that high reach.
.398 in perspective. The all-time record for Hawaii is Deetra Collins. You know how great she was back in '81. She hit .399, and coming into tonight's match, Malin Franzen is hitting at .400. No doubt tonight, though, that's going to drop a peg or two as Malin has just not put as many balls away as we usually see her do. A lot of wiping up going on.
Right now, Dunning and his coaching staff and players are claiming that Hawaii is wiping up the floor unnecessarily.
All pushed over the top. Good diving dig that time. Paige Kalulu pushed and lifted as she attempted to make the block on that one. And it's 3-5.
Here the shot by Pfeiffer goes into the back row, and Hawaii, Babes Kalulu digs at that time. Exact same call was made on Pacific earlier, so very consistent officiating by John Zabriskie and Randy Shaw.
Serve goes out.
As everybody knows who's played any kind of game at all with officials, it's a very, very difficult job. And over a 5-game match like this, it's especially difficult. And all you can ask for is consistency. That's what you want in any official. And I think we've gotten that tonight.
Especially on subjective calls like this. If you're going to call it one way, call it that way all night long. Here's Franzen. Off the face of Oden, and she keeps it alive. Punched over. Just awesome defense. Pushed over and a point.
Here we have a little pinball wizardry right here. There's a pop-up there, another pop-up. Watch this one go over. Hawaii gets what they call a free ball. They get a chance to run their transition attack right there as Babes Kalulu sets herself to start the play. But the big thing there was Pacific's reactions. Still very quick here in game number 5.
Tony Nishida coming in for Mary Robbins. When Tony Nishida has come in lately in the last few weeks, good things have happened for the Rainbow Wahines. They lead 6-3. Beckenhauer, back set to Lance, and she hits it wide. So from behind the 10-foot line, Pam Lance goes out at 7-3.
Pacific getting a little desperate there, setting Pam Lance in the back row. And they've got Oden in the front row, and they've got Pfeiffer in the front row.
Same serve. This time Beckenhauer goes to Oden. He goes outside, 8-3. Unforced mistakes. The two teams will switch sides. At 8-3, Hawaii starting to run away with game number 5. And Chris Dunning's got to be careful. He's only got one more timeout. He used the first one when they got down 4-0. I don't think he'll call it just yet, but if Hawaii breaks into double figures, he's got to call it soon.
He certainly will. I believe he will call it around 10 if Hawaii should get there. But remember, this game's not over. All they're doing is switching sides. It's merely a psychological edge that Hawaii has right now, reaching 8 points first. But that team doesn't always necessarily win the game.
Nishida wasn't very active in that play, but Hawaii gets a couple of points. Unforced errors by Pacific. Maybe they're getting tired. Don't think the crowd had that much of an effect there. They just hit 2 balls out.
Again, here's Dunning making a substitution after that switching sides. I kind of think he made that in order to slow the game down once again and take a little bit of that momentum away from Hawaii. They're not quite as charged up now as they were when they got that 8th point. It's been a minute or so since they got that 8th point.
Good serve by Boyer. Scruggs off of Kalulu. Boyer, short set, Nishida pops it over. Chance for Pacific on a free ball. Pfeiffer just kills it. Boy, you could see that one coming when she went up. Don't want to be near that.
Beautiful 3-set this time to Pfeiffer. No chance at all for Hawaii that time as Bronson tried to get in the way of that. Pfeiffer just simply went over her.
Possibly a key moment in game 5, though. Pfeiffer goes to the back row, and therefore she comes out with 22 kills. And coming in, Katie Eldridge. So Eldridge will stay in for a while for Pfeiffer in the back row. Bronson gets her kill.
The serve by T. Williams right now, crucial in my opinion. Psychologically, Hawaii is stuck at 8. They made the switch. Pacific got a nice side out, tried to gain some momentum. And if T can get this serve in, Hawaii can get that 9th point. Psychologically, I think it's very, very important. Trishman diving into the bench with a dig. Oh, the dig again by Trishman.
Bronson pushes it over. Beckenhauer. And that time attempted dig, but Kerry Trishman there. And credit to the UH bench as they ran out of the way and let Kerry make the play.
Best move of the night might have been by Dave Shoji and Dean Nowak right there as they got out of the way. Made room for a beautiful save by Kerry Trishman. And here's the second dig by Trishman right there, pops it straight up. T gets her hands on it, but can't quite give a good enough set that time to Malin Franson.
18 digs for Kerry Trishman. She does it all. She's had some good serving tonight, some blocks, some kills. You just saw her defense. That time she pushes it over a little bit too much, but Kalulu makes the play. A great set by Sherry Boyer.
Here is the set of the night, goes up and Kalulu buries it, but the big play was Boyer saving that ball from going over to the Pacific side of the net.
Just great instinct, just great volleyball instinct by both of these teams. Remember, they've been playing now for 2.5 hours. Ball did not go over the net, it's side out to Pacific. The Pacific bench was up and ready to yell on that, but very calmly the referee saw it.
Babes Kalulu didn't even come close to getting that ball over the net that time. She may be tiring a little or trying to do too much against that huge Pacific block.
Biggest match of her young career here as a freshman coming in. Trying to do a lot. She has done a lot tonight for Hawaii. Nishida, Boyer. Brunson starting to show her stuff in game 5.
Oh, and Malin Franson looked a little surprised, like, hey, look what I found behind Sherry Boyer. A little back set.
good news for Hawaii is when Pacific has gotten a side out, Chris, they haven't scored any points. It's still 8-3. Here's Kalulu. Right to the Lance. Blocked up front by Trishman. Blocked up front by Trishman.
Trishman with a big block right there. Oh, and is she a happy camper, a happy rainbow, Wahine?
Terry Trishman had 2 straight blocks in a row on one of the biggest people, hitters, maybe All-Americans in the country, Kathy Scotland. And she dances the clum rig is what I forget it. She dances, whatever it was, a tango. 9-3. Point for Hawaii. Dunning calls his second and final timeout. Hawaii has hit double digits.
Carrie Trishman coming up with her 2 biggest blocks of the night. One right here, and Kathy Scotland putting it back into the Pacific part of the court. They cover that play, and guess what? Beckenhauer wisely goes back to Scotland, but usually works. Not this time. Carrie Trishman has the last say on that play as Hawaii goes ahead 10-3, and Dunning out of timeouts.
10-3 Hawaii. The crowd, the weather, the travel to Hawaii, all possibly wearing away. And certainly the great overall play of this Hawaii team. So many names and so many faces all doing the job in this comeback. Hawaii has scored 25 of the last 28 points. Actually, it's even more amazing, Chris. They were down 7-14 in the game where they came back to make it 12-14 before Pacific wrapped it up. So Pacific has scored 4 points, and Hawaii has scored quick math, 31 points of the last 35. They have really taken it to Pacific.
The good news for Pacific, though, is the last time they'll have to play in Clum this year, because the next time these 2 teams meet, it will probably be at Spanos Gymnasium up in Stockton, California, for the chance to go to the NC2A Final Four.
If they are to meet again, it would certainly be in postseason play. It is 12-3 at Clum Gym. You know, if this were the Dodgers, half the crowd have been gone by now. They don't stick around to the end, but nobody has been in this gym this long this year, and nobody has left.
You have the feeling they want to be around for that last stand-up aloha for the match tradition that's building here at Clum Gymnasium.
12-3. Roof was kept alive by the defense of Pacific. Fronston to Boyer. Trishman is roofed up front. Scotland and Lance up that time. Pacific needs points.
Well, there's an impressive statistic. Kathy Scotland, we see why she leads the league in blocking by far.
Averaging over 2 a game. Kept alive by UOP. Here's Fronston to Boyer. Outside Kalulu. Blocked T, great D. Viper's roof. Good D again. This crowd can't believe the defense. Chris, the crowd is ready to cheer on every Hawaii block, and Pacific is equal to the challenge that time. Great defense by the Tigers.
Give them credit. They are not giving up. They picked up their 4th point right there. They're not about to fold up their tents at all.
4-12. A lot of Hawaii players been on the floor for a while here in Game 5.
I'd be very surprised if Dave Shoji didn't go to his bench, either with Jamie Long for Kalulu or Laura Phillips in the back row for someone just to give Hawaii a chance to steal some momentum from Pacific.
Step out move, Trishman is roofed, but kept alive. There's Kalulu. Lulu and Ishida playing a long time in Game 5. Dave just pops it over the top. How about that? Dave just took 2 hands and said, here, you take the ball, and threw it back at Pacific, and she'll serve now.
Well, the pride of University High that time got a most unlikely kill that time, and she went up and just sort of pushed the ball back over into the open part of the court. Normally it's the big blockers up front that get those kind of kills, not the little ones. The smallest girl in the court that time with a big kill.
Into the net, a service error by Kalulu. My fault. She called my fault. No kidding. Here's Scotland. Boyer. Side out. Sherry Boyer must have set up 4 million balls tonight. She has not stepped off the floor except for timeouts in between games.
And to her credit, she has really straightened out her game. She started off very shaky tonight. Dave Shoji and Dean Nowak let her know that she was not making the best set selections or location of sets, and she has really settled into playing brilliantly. Carrie Trishman comes off for a breather. She'll be back, though.
She and Beckenhauer have not had a chance to rest. Boyer and Beckenhauer, the yeoman duty at center. Bronson with a dig. Here's T.
Oh, and the crowd can feel it. You hear the T crescendo going throughout this gym as T goes up and skies, tees it up with a T-bomb and gets another T kill. And if Dunning could call a T I'm out, he would, but he can't. He's got none left.
Well, let's polish it off by saying that was a teetotaler. 13-4, Laura Phillips. Yeah, we're losing it, but after 2.5 hours in Clum, it's the Clum weight program. I've lost 15. Laura Phillips, Lance, Beckenhauer outside. Oh, it was Nishida. How about that? Tony says, remember me?
We talked about her effect to the team when she comes in. She always comes up with a big block, and now they're at match point. Here goes the Clum tradition right here. Look at them.
Hawaii trying to wrap it up. Phillips to serve. Set up outside Pfeiffer. Block that goes out. Crowd will sit back down at 4-14. Hawaii has just scored a monstrous amount of points. 34 points, and Pacific has scored 5. That is unbelievable. That is just amazing. Two good teams. Dumped by Boyer. And missed by Pacific. They're making errors in game 5.
Oh, credit Bates Kalulu with a beautiful diving save that time off the serve. And here goes the Clum tradition. Everybody's up for aloha ball.
Sherry Boyer will try to end it. How appropriate. What a comeback she has made tonight. The serve by Boyer. Beckenhauer. Pfeiffer puts it away. Too much character on this team to say goodnight yet. Real test for these two squads. Hawaii now knows they can come back against anybody, and Pacific knows they can play with Hawaii.
Bad news is Pfeiffer just got a big kill. Good news is she's in the back row.
Nishida whips, but there's T. Boyer. Bronson. And Pfeiffer absolutely whipped. She kind of slipped, and I think the timing of the... She's just smiling there. Chris, I think she kind of slipped and just knows she whipped.
How about that for a sheepish grin? It was like bringing an airplane into the airport and doing one of those 5-point landings where everything stumbles. And Hawaii has their third chance for match point. Let's see if they can do it this time. Who more appropriate than T. Williams?
The greatest UH game.